Yo, welcome everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to
TCR Trinity
Competitive Racing.
Well, TCR TJ is the Season 13 Golden Class Champion for Trinity Competitive Racing.
Oh, let's go, dude! Yes!
Chibar on the podium! He's on it by a 10! Gentlemen, side by side through one.
And silent. Oh, and Seabreeze gets a half spin.
Let's fucking go!
Wheel bumping.
DRS enabled, let's do it.
And Captain Blade battling it out for position. Captain Blade.
Ickle, what the
Then McChicken goes around and he also makes
Rewind on the front straight. Oh my god.
I gotta check the heart rate.
Why do we do this? Because of nights like this.
Yo, welcome everybody to TCR Trinity Competitive Racing, and welcome to episode number 18 for the Racing Debrief, TCR's podcast where we combine the world of e-racing, sim racing, and TCR with real-life motorsports and Formula One, a true racing enthusiast. Listen, in this episode, we have our newly crowned Season 14 Silver Class Drivers Champion RafaHulk from Mercedes, and I'm also joined with co-host Chibar and producer D'Angelo. This will be a good one. We'll be going over the entire season of Silver Class and an in-depth interview with our champion. Thank you, RafaHulk, for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me, and I'm very excited to this episode and look forward to we talk for a couple hours about everything that happened this season.
Yeah, let's get into it. So it's the silver class. So, do we have, Chibar? Maybe you could look them up. The preseason votes.
The preseason votes. Yeah, I'll find.
I think we should look at that because coming into this season, there were, I would say, three like real strong favorites as far as the Drivers' Championship. And I believe I think the number one winner was Camden Luca. Then it was Blinn Machine. And then I think, Rafa, you were third as far as the preseason poll we gave.
I believe that Camden was the first one, what I remember, and Blinn Machine and me.
So I have the results. I'm going to post them in the chat here. We could probably add that in later. It was Blinn Machine first with 89 points, Camden second with 83, and then third Rafa with 48.
Oh, because you did the point style. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But as far as the third person, as far as who got the most first place votes, it was actually Double M.
So
that was interesting.
Rafa got only one first place vote, and I gotta ask, Rafa, was it you that submitted yourself as first?
I don't remember. Yeah.
It might be. If it was you, you're right. You bet on yourself and was the only one to get it right.
Yeah, I think I don't remember, but I probably did first or second. I tried to be because
humble.
and it's the third season with you guys, right? So the other two I didn't have that much luck and was start race with you guys, try adapt myself on and try have time to play and all this, and like fortunately this season everything worked good for me. I raced good most of the races, like you guys said, and the racers, and I was like every single one. I just won a race. I didn't go to the podium, but after that, every single one I was in the podium. So
yeah, I pulled up the race results. Every race you finished on the podium except for Saudi Arabia, where you got P4 with the fastest lap.
Yes, oh my god, that was a mess. And I think a couple race we get like 3 or 4, we get the safety car in the end, and people get crazy. got crazy, and Saudi Arabia was on those like people try pass and like weird turns, and they just was drive their life, and then their last laps are also like it was crazy, but everything worked out good, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, only one DNF. That was Azerbaijan. I think you got hit into that one wall at the end of Sector 2, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I couldn't believe I did that, and I was listening you guys on on the transmission after that on the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe how I did that. Like just I hit the brake too hard, and I lock up the tire. It was so weird, and I don't know, was completely my fault, and I could get the podium that one as well.
Yeah, you could have. So actually, I have some questions before we really get into this. A little bit of getting to know Rafa. Out of curiosity, do you drive on a wheel or a controller?
Wheel. I
Wheel.
have the
Okay.
Fanatec DD1.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And you said you locked up. So do you not run ABS? Do you use any assist?
I do the ABS, but my pedals
Uh-huh.
is when I hit the brake too much, I just it's not gonna lock up, but you instead have a
Vibration do
good
you
break
get?
point. Yes, I have the
Yeah.
vibration, so I know I did too much. So it's not when you hit the brake, it's not gonna be as good if you don't come with the vibration. So I can feel when I'm doing a good break point or no.
Oh
I can
wow.
feel right away. Yes,
I didn't know that was a thing even. You
it
guys,
is. It is.
the other
I'm
guys
proud.
here are more experienced and might know that. That's news to me. Interesting.
Oh, I yeah no. There's the vibration. I have mine on my pedals. Which pedals do you have, Chibar?
Uh,
The
the CSL
CSL.
Elite Fanatec, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those don't vibrate or anything.
No,
Oh,
The V3 pedals do.
there's like an eraser behind the brake pedal.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. The racer doesn't vibrate. Um, but yeah, no, that's good there. And have you always used the wheel, Rafa, in all your seasons, or was there any transition point that you got this wheel? Was this the first time you're running this wheel in a season, or what was kind of the landscape on that?
I never did the transition. Always with the wheels. I
Mm.
started, and I started because a friend of mine in Brazil, they are doing this league race and everything, and they are use the controllers, and I couldn't. I said if I'm gonna start, and for us here, it's not cheap, but it's accessible. We can buy like the C. I start with the CSL Elite 2, CSL, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I start with that one. I think I spent like 600 plus the cockpit, and was 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Yeah, because when I start with two leagues in Brazil, and right away I found you guys. I don't know how, so I start with you guys as well on the 20 or 19. I think I don't know 19.
Yes, 2019. So just to
Yes,
give everybody a little bit of RafaHulk stats, you said this was your third season
yes.
that you competed. So you did two before this, and in those two seasons before, these are his stats before adding in this season's statistics. You had 2 wins entering with 9 podiums and 3 pole positions with 2 fastest laps. You had 29 race starts. You also had 4 DNFs with an 86% finish rate, and you pretty much bumped up all of your records, all of the good stats that the drivers look at, because you got yourself 6 podiums with 4 fastest laps. You also claimed 1 pole position, and you also had 11 podiums additioned. When you entered into this season, we talked about the the preseason poll that the drivers chose as far as who they or predictions who they thought would win. When you saw that you weren't the favorite, did you calculate that into your evaluation? Like coming into your third season in TCR, what were you expecting from the season? Did you want to go for the championship? Where did you think you were entering on round number one?
About the votes, like people vote based on what is my history of the league, and I agree completely. And I was very happy when they put me in at third because I had good pace uh, on the races before, but I wasn't constantly. And on this new F1, I knew I was like fight for something good. I didn't know I was gonna be championship, right? But I know I couldn't fight like Chibar, like Camden, Bling Machine, Sir Charles. I know he's on gold class, but all these people I raced the season before, like all good races. So I knew I could fight with them, not for the championship, but good position. And and I knew that because I raced a couple, like you said, preseason and other tournaments and like short tournaments and Brazilian leagues, and my pace was good compared with the other racers. So I knew I could fight for good position.
Was there a specific race throughout the season that you kind of knew that this championship was yours? Was there one that stuck out? Because you did go to the finale with Camden. Camden's not here tonight. Maybe part of the reason is because you're here. No, I'm kidding. You might be scared off. But is there a specific race that you said, "Okay, I got this"?
I think the one I thought I got this was on Mexico. Mexico, I did a good because I start from the back.
Yes.
And 3 laps I was all the way in the front. And when I pass over Camden and another one, I don't know if it was Camden, that double overtake.
Yes,
was
I remember that.
cool. Oh my God, I was watching that. Was unbelievable. I forgot to send you guys, but when I did the overtake, I said, this championship is mine. That's the only one I thought.
You know what? I have to agree with that too, because when I was calling the race, with obviously D'Angelo and myself for most of the season, it was a great silver class season. That's when I said that's the nail in the coffin. That's it. Because when you have a competitor, a driver who can go, because you had a back of the grid penalty for getting however many penalty points throughout the season. You had the qualifying ban, and when you can go from last to first and win the race, I think that's such a message that you send to the rest of the grid. And I think that was like, okay, Rafa is the guy this season, and we just have to accept it because, that was a really good performance. It's hard to go last to first and beat everybody else because so much could go wrong.
Yes, and like you said, and even we have good like races and but everything worked good that day. I think we have one safety car. I don't know if you had the safety car. Did we? Or like a virtual safety car in the beginning, something like that.
So I think there was a VSC on like the first lap, and that's it.
Yes, and that's it. But I found the pace. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a little lucky with the setup because I like to change. I get what people. I get the base, like I said in TT time trial, whatever. And I change. I change the point I can feel my car like in my hand. So sometimes I do some don't work good, but most time work good for me, and couldn't work good for you guys, But I think the main thing you like change stuff in your car, like like change suspension or whatever here and there, and find the best drive for you, because that's gonna make the difference and in one turn or the end of the race.
Now, coming into this season, now this answer could be from this season or any of your previous seasons. Do you feel like you've had your best race in this season? And if so, what was it? If it wasn't in this season, what is the race that you think was your most complete drive? And it doesn't even need to be a win, but does one stick out from the rest? I know that's a tough question. There's a lot of
That's
you got
tough.
about, I think you have 43 or so race starts at this point in time, but
For sure was this season. But
I would think so, because you only had two
yes,
previous wins from the other two seasons.
and I
But
think it was
this season was
Miami.
really good. Miami.
Miami. I don't know why.
Oh, your last
That,
race, yeah.
yeah, the last race in that section, the S session, that you said there in the YouTube channel. That's the point you're gonna lose a lot of time, or you're gonna earn a lot of time in that small turns. And the sequence of turn, the S and the left turn. So, and I like that one so much. I like Miami, and to be the last race was head to head. Even with 20 points ahead, I couldn't make a mistake. Otherwise, Camden could be the champion if something happened with me. So, was the most important, and is the most I enjoy of the season.
Did you have pressure going into that last race? I know the point cushion, you had a little bit of cushion. A lot had to go wrong for you, but was there pressure different from any of the previous races?
I could be a little bit, because independent, whatever you do, if it's like we do the race, or is a soccer or a football, if you actual play, you feel some nervous, especially when you can be like champion. So yeah, I thought I felt like a little pressure, and special my first season with you guys, I did very well, and I had a very really chance to be the champion. So yeah, I felt some kind of pressure in that race, but I love that track, so that helped me a little bit.
I've got a question. So I believe I was one of the 8 people that voted you for third in the preseason thing. And my reasoning behind that at the time was that, having raced together last season, I remember you had very good pace. Whenever you were passing me, it was very quickly. But if I remember correctly, I feel like you had a lot of spins that stopped you from winning races or getting on the podium as much last season. And that almost didn't happen at all this season. Did something change? Do you like this game more? Do you think you've gotten better? Do you even agree with my statement?
Oh yeah, I agree completely with your statement. Like I said, I always had the pace, but like to be calm enough to know the right time to pass, or the right time to push, or the right time just to keep a pace, and the setup as well. That changed a lot. Like you said, I did spin a lot, and that was because inexperience as well too. Like, because I knew I had the pace, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna pass everybody, and like I'm gonna win this race, but not. It's like small details or small mistakes in you make, and it's over, and you learn. Like every day you do something, you practice or you train, or you just come down and do a little slower, and like think a little bit more, and you're gonna do right.
If you could give maybe others advice from now a silver class champion, newly crowned. What one tip would you give to the rest of either the silver class or other drivers looking to put a nice season together? Is there one tip that really helped you out, change from last season to this one?
Like I did, like be constantly instead just be fast. I always was fast, but like Chibar said, I spent a lot in the race or made mistakes. So I don't know who is this tournament. Like Camden. Camden, he won what? One race? I don't know, 1, 2 race. And he was fight for the championship. And I won like 6, I think, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
He had 8 pole positions, and only he had 3 race wins.
3
across
race
the
wins,
season.
including the sprint race.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so that one would be not an actual win. That'd be a sprint win. Yeah, good call.
So I won like double.
Yeah, you won 6. Rafa won 6.
Yeah. And I won double what he won, and even still fight for the championship. So it's more about you be there every single race.
So consistency.
The consistency. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the most important.
He's finished Camden's. The reason why he took you to the finale is because he showed up every race and finished every race. He did not DNF at all. His worst finish was only 7th at Singapore, which is actually really good. He just needed to get a couple more podiums, a couple more wins.
That was a final lap incident too. I think he was in the top 3 or 4 at that moment. Prior to that, but yeah, you had the 1 DNF in Azerbaijan, and then you had to miss the Abu Dhabi race, which, if you had shown up to that race, you probably could have had enough points to clinch it out before Miami. But this way we got a more exciting finale.
Destiny, that call we can call it, because I wasn't here. I was traveling, and yeah, I want to race, but I couldn't, and that makes the even more like tight, the championship race. So was cool for we go into the last race. Even 20 points is a good like amount, but he could still be the champion. So was nice. And like I said before, like I like TCR. I like this league. So all the races and like the structure you guys and do for the league, and it's I like it simple like that. Nice.
Awesome. I would hope the champion. I think the champion always likes the league. Winning is nice. I don't know if maybe the losers can say the same. But that's one championship, the Drivers' Championship. I wanted to briefly talk about the Constructors' Championship, because in Silver Class, even in Golden Class, which we'll get to in the next episode with Gottney Weeb coming on it, it was a split championship. We had Alfa Romeo with Camden, Luca, and Chibar. One half of Alfa Romeo is here tonight. What was your thoughts on the Constructors' Championship? Were you all eyes on the Drivers' Championship, or was there some thought of, okay, let's try to get both of them?
Oreo, I never raced with him, but a couple like race I used to text him, or he texts me, and like just wish good race, and I would pass my setup to him to try helping him a little. Like even we didn't talk that much. I don't use that much Discord or whatever, and yeah, I think I could try helping him more, but I just didn't have the time. And he was a new racer, just first season with us, and all these is like I knew I couldn't push that much, and he did his best. First season here with TCR, and I knew I couldn't ask that much, and he did what he could do, and that's fine.
Do you think if you would have spent possibly a little bit more time, possibly with your teammate or even in like a party chat, that you would be able to help? Would that help your case as far as the Constructors Championship? Because it was only 15 points in between Alfa Romeo with 270, Mercedes, you guys, Rafa, and Oreo with 255. Do you think a little bit better teamwork would have made a difference, or could?
I think so. I think so. I could help him. Yes, but that's my fault. I could apologize to him because I just didn't have the time, and also we have Nando and another friend of us, Diego. So we used to do a party together on the race and help each other. So that's another reason I never call Oreo on the chat to race with him. But yeah, I think if I would have a little more time to train with him, I think we could get more points.
Yeah, because it was, as you mentioned, it was Oreo's first season in TCR, and although he finished low on the standings, he only got 8 points on the season. He did show up every race, and he did have 3 DNFs, which is fine. You're gonna have a few, but he almost consistently finished like 9, 11, and 12, like almost every single race. So it seems that he just needed a little bit of extra improvement. And I think if he comes back next season, I think you're going to see a big improvement from Oreo uh, towards season 15 if he does decide to come back, because he is pretty consistent from the stat page. I think it's just more or less trying to find that little bit extra in the speed, and I think that comes with time. So I think that's a positive trajectory.
Like you said, Oreo was knocking on the door with points almost every race, and I think in Miami, I think he outran me at some point. Like he had some pretty good pace in Miami, and I think also suffered from a few spins that probably took him out of the points, but it was a small margin for Mercedes versus Alfa Romeo in the end.
Yeah, and the most important for everybody, not just for him, like you don't need to have the pace, especially the first league you being in, but you need to be a clean racer, and he's one. He like because I always go and watch the YouTube video after the race, right? And I never saw him like get involved with accident or was his fall on even the Stewart when you open. I never saw him involved with something like that. Maybe he was involved one or two. I don't want to be wrong as well. Say something is not true, but what I saw, he's like clean racer, so that's good too. He's gonna get the pace.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier with the consistency, one of the tips is to be there at the end, and he's there. So I think good things from him. Coming into this season with this roster, what did you think of it? Did you have some nice battles? Does anyone stand out, good or bad? What did you think of this season's Silver Class roster?
My thoughts is amazing. I was the championship, so but
they were all slower than you.
Yeah, but
good.
So
now's the time when you say how fast everyone was and that you beat them anyway.
But no, yeah, we have good races, and beside that, I had luck in a couple races like Australia, where Camden just got involved. He was in front of me. He got involved with the accident, and I went outside of everybody. And just from fifth, I went to second. And speed race has 12 seconds, something like that. I had 3. He has 9, something like that. And he was 5. Yes, but he was far away, having 2 laps left. but my pace was good because I had fresh tire and he had old one. I think that's why he wasn't first, because he didn't stop in the last safety car. So I could get in and win the race. And we didn't have that much battle because Camden didn't have that much luck this season. We can agree on that.
Yes.
And yeah, like I got a good adaptation on this game. I was very good, and the pace was good. I had the pace. We can say that, and better than most. That's why we didn't have that much battle, and plus with the bad luck of some of the racers. So yeah, is a mix of like a couple things.
This is only a little bit relevant. In Japan, you finished P3 with the fastest lap, so a podium, good finish. But if I remember correctly, you were running towards the front and may have won that race, but something happened where you dropped back a bit. Do you remember what happened? Did you spin like going into that under the tunnel or under the bridge part?
Yes, right there. I spun.
Yeah.
Yes, I was chasing. I was chasing Nando.
Yeah.
Remember? Yes, he was.
And he had some penalties though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That's why that thing when you don't need to push that much, but you always wanna be in the front. Be in the front. Sometimes you forgot to like come down. Like you have the advantage and you have a good pace. You go. I could overtake him 2 laps later, but I was thinking I was getting close and close, and I one mistake, and you lose. You just like put everything in risk of because that. So yeah, I spent that turn.
Okay. And then in Bahrain, I wasn't able to race that day because someone gave me free tickets to a basketball game. Is there any truth to the rumor that Mercedes paid for those?
Maybe if I had the money, I would do that.
Okay. So
Maybe it was Oreo's helping out. He's like, I gotta help out somehow.
Yeah.
Oreo paid up. So it's not confirmed, but it's not denied either. So interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was gonna say, well, now that you got this championship, we kind of know that you want to take the ABS off, and you want to go to the golden class. Is that your full intention for next season?
It is, but should I?
Ooh,
That's the question.
I think you should.
I think you should.
Yeah, I think you
Because-
should.
Yeah, who won the last championship was
Tebow.
Tebow, and he moved up.
Tebow, yeah, and he didn't do that good, right? He was he fight for the championship?
Not really for the drivers, but yeah, he was in the top 5. I think he did get a win.
He got win in race 3.
And when he was with us last season, he was like so far away from us. Like, remember, he was very good. He was like win, 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 win. So that's I'm afraid.
In the drivers.
Yeah, I'm afraid to go to Golden and go like 10th. But
Well,
yeah, I think I should. I think I have to. I have to improve.
Yeah, I think it's a good challenge, and honestly, like the golden class, there's, and we'll get to that, like I mentioned in the next episode, but they do have a nice mixture of yet some new drivers, returning drivers, and drivers who've been there, pretty much a staple in golden class, and you had a couple drivers from silver move up, so there's a big mixture in the golden class, but I think it's a very experienced class, and drivers kind of know what they're doing. It's a full, racing line only, so it's more or less drivers using the same thing, more of an equal playing field. You did mention Tebow moved up, and he only got himself 1 win. You also had season 13 silver champion Sir Charles, who was runner-up last season,
12.
go up. What happened?
Season 12 champion, not 13. Tebow was 13.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, 12. Yeah, God damn it! You know we're getting up there in the numbers. Season 12 champion. So he moved up. Tebow moved up,
Sir
and
Charles finished P11.
yeah, and he had an off season. So I think if you go up, it'll be a good challenge. I wouldn't expect wins right off the bat, but you never know.
Yeah, I will move on. I will move up. I wanna race it. Then like Sir Charles, like you said, he was another good one on silver. Him and who was with? Was him and Chibar?
No, he
I
was
think it was
with
No.
Blinn last season.
Blaine. Yes,
Oh.
yes, with McLaren, right?
Yeah.
They used to race with McLaren. Yes,
Yeah.
they was champion on 12 as well, right? The constructor, if I'm not
I
wrong.
think they lost just
Oh, they
by a
lost?
point or two to Tebow and Ferrari.
Yeah, season
Oh,
13, but I think 12 they won the constructors, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
they
12. I
won
think
two.
they won the constructor.
12 probably.
If I'm not. Yeah, so all these good races they are on the gold one, and yeah, I'm gonna move on, move up after, especially after be the champion of silver. So I need to move up and improve because that you have to, like you said, just the line assistance. So my big problem is not even the ABS, is the traction. But I gonna have to get over and try to do it.
Yeah, although you know what, I think it's a good thing for even like when you have the speed and everything's going right, like especially in your situation here, you're winning a lot in silver class, you're comfortable with what you're using as far as assists. It's very hard for drivers to take some assists off and try to be better as a driver and move up and start to take more of a challenge. I know so many drivers that over the course of seasons in TCR that were just so stubborn. They did not want to take the assists off and they kept complaining, oh, I'm on a controller, or oh, I'm on a wheel, I can't, my left pinky doesn't work the same way. Like they come up with, BS excuses that they can't do a certain assists, and I think they're afraid to take some assists off, get slower, and not win.
I
But
am on a controller for crying out loud.
yeah, like people can do it. They just don't want to. But I think for you, no, that's good to like challenge yourself to go out there, and I think it's gonna be good if you're thinking more long term for you to do that because honestly, if you go to the golden class and let's say you're finished 8th in the championship or whatever it is, it's maybe not ideal, but
You
for
get
a first
experience.
season, yeah, you get so much experience and it is kind of teaching you like, yeah, I need to lose a little. You won so much this season. Next season, you got to embrace those losses so good because that's what's going to be the building block for the following seasons to come. So I don't know. I just love the improvement. Unlocking your full racing potential is what we say all the time, and trying to bring these drivers in with like the lower assists that you had been using, and that's what silver class is about: using those assists, and then get to a point where you're good, which you are, and then eventually move up to gold and take those off and start racing with drivers that do have that experience, which is the golden class, and really push yourself. So I'm happy. It's going to be fun to see you on the grid with whoever else is on that roster, because that's going to be, as every season, it always improves. But yeah, it's going to be good.
So you're already saying how you're going to move up to golden. Have you thought about teammates at all? Is there anyone you got an eye on, or not yet?
And car
I'm
choice
not,
too.
but like Sir Charles, I would love to have him as a mate, like the race, so together. And
And it's for car choice. You like the Ferrari engines or?
like whatever. If I could pick Mercedes, I love Mercedes. My cockpit is like Mercedes, so But if I could pick, if not, whatever.
So you wouldn't fit into the Ferrari Driver Academy by Seafreeze, huh?
I could go to Ferrari too. Like,
Yeah, I could send some Ferrari and stickers and TCR stickers over to put on your cockpit to cover up the
all right,
Mercedes logo.
it's more than a welcome.
Okay. They'll be there by next week.
All right, with
Oh, on the way to
and
New Jersey.
On the way.
send together with my trophy. That's
Oh
fine.
yes, they'll be coming, Rafa.
Oh,
They'll be
that's
coming.
cool. You can put the Ferrari stick on my trophy. That's fine.
It says future Ferrari driver.
Absolutely, I gotta sign them while they're young.
Uh,
Have you? You know, you have your rig and everything. Do you plan on, or have you done any other sims? Does any other racing category interest you, or are you just still focused on the F1 games?
just F1 games. I used to play soccer, the FIFA one, and when you have to work, and now I'm gonna be a father. Just find out 3 weeks ago, so things change, and you have less and less time to do this. So I just stick to with the F1.
Just F1. Okay, well that's
Yes.
good. It's always better in racing terms, racing scenarios, to really focus on one discipline. It allows you to really progress in that category. It's very difficult to do multiple games and racing, and
Exactly.
you need a full dedication to that. And I
It's
think
different pace, different cars, different turns. Like the F1 wheels, you turn less to to make the turns, and the Gran Turismo cars, for example, is the turns is more. You have to use more like turning wise. So it's too much for someone has don't have that much time to train or practice. So like you said, it's better you do just one and be good at that so you can compete. Then you race 2, 3 different like game and you cannot do anyone good. So I prefer just do one.
Outside of maybe Miami, is there any track you'd particularly like to see on the calendar next season?
South Arabia, I like it. I like
Okay.
that one. I like Monaco. I love Monaco.
I think
Why?
it has to come back.
I do love Monaco because it's very technical. So is very tight. So you have to be good. You have to do perfect, like 30 laps straight, like over and over again. So that's nice. So your level of like concentration has to be very high. So that's cool. I like that.
And you mentioned earlier, how much you enjoy TCR, and I really do appreciate that a lot. Is there anything that you would like to see TCR do, or do as an implement that we don't do already, or is there something that we do that we could do better from your point of view?
My point of view, I think you guys do like everything right, even with the steward, all these decision, all the group of people take care of the league you guys have is very good. You guys do a very right way, going the right path. But one thing for the new drivers, what you guys can do is like race, like you can do 2, 3 pre-season race with the people with interest and get in the TCR league to see what category which class they're gonna get in based on the time, based on like 3 races, one in Brazil, one in you guys speak, and Spain and see with that 3-1 where best fit for each race driver. That could be one. Other thing, I wanna send the link to you guys. When like you guys do the comments on the YouTube live, they have this different layout on live YouTube. Show our names, a different layout of the positions. Very nice, very good. And I know the guys who do this software. It's very nice. It looks like you watch on the real F1.
Oh,
It's very cool. I want to show you. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that before, but all the leagues in Brazil, they do this like a plus. And
Yeah, it's
a
like
lot of
a
leagues,
overlay.
yes.
Yes. We do
Like-
want to do that. Me and D'Angelo have been talking about that for the silver commentaries. We were actually talking about, I think, the last Miami race before we were gonna do the live stream, but way before. I mean, I've been wanting to do that for seasons.
I'm gonna send a link here. I can send it here in our group, right?
Yeah.
A link,
Yeah,
and
send
we can see like on the live stream, and you have all the detail, the position, but with our names, our numbers is very good, very cool. Like the difference for the first to the second is very cool. I'm gonna send it to a link for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I would love to. I mean, I would love to have that for our streams to boost the quality of that. Because I think that's like the streams are so important because that showcases the product that we have in
Yes.
TCR, which is the racing, and that is the most important thing for the league to do well is those races. So if you can bump that quality up and that how it looks visually and the commentary, and I guess also the drivers should race good too. It really does improve the league as a whole. But I would love to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, like you guys said, sorry, interrupt you, but
ahead.
like you have the good product, you have the league, we have good racers, you guys have good good track lists, good stewards. So yeah, that's gonna just add and bring more and more people, more people watching as well too.
Jabbar, you had something?
Yeah, I was gonna mention how this, I believe, will be posted like regular at 8 a.m. Monday. So if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday, there's a drivers meeting on Tuesday. If you have your own suggestions for the league, a little plug.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I want to hear all those great ideas and suggestions because this is the time where we got to make them happen in the off
Yeah.
season.
I can't make it to the drivers meeting on Tuesday, but one thing, just now talking about like the broadcast production quality, I think it would be fun if there was like just a little quick short survey that drivers fill out so that so new drivers aren't just like a random username you're unfamiliar with. So like, I don't know, let's say Chibar, like 27-year-old from also driving out of New Jersey, favorite track this or that. So there's something more to go off of in those broadcast packages that's handed out to the commentators.
Like it. Or even possibly some previous track record. Some drivers have never done league racing, and this is their first league. But some drivers did do other league racing, and if it is I guess, recognizable league, pretty well funded, not funded, but that's a bad word to say. Well executed league that is pretty reputable.
Yeah, like a prestige of it.
Yeah, we can kind of showcase a little bit of those numbers just to kind of see what we're dealing with.
Yeah, and like some people probably want to keep some things more private than others, but whatever someone's comfortable sharing, I think would
Like
be nice.
favorite color, you got to add that
Sure.
trivia in there. Favorite color.
The trivia, yeah. Yeah, something like that, or like a favorite driver in F1, something like that. I don't know, just like some fun facts to go off of late in a race if it's just like everyone has a 3-second gap, it's just something to say.
I agree. And I wanted to actually, so we spent a lot of this focused on RafaHulk. I want to kind of go just a little bit of time. We had a time mark somewhere, D'Angelo?
I think
About
we're
to
about
hit-
40,
40,
40,
50.
About to hit
40,
51.
50. All right, we got some time. I wanted to go, so I went back into the way, way, way back days of TCR. This was when we were on GroupMe. I don't know if you remember, D'Angelo, but for some reason, something sprung the idea while we were talking, and we used to do driver or season superlatives, so, like the best or worst at whatever. And we used to have all the drivers. Do you remember this, D'Angelo?
I
Or
do
you don't?
not remember this.
I guess you weren't around so much. But I would send it to the drivers individually, and it was just like a little fun thing. You didn't really get anything of it, but it was. So there's 12 different ones here. I want to kind of quickly go through and see if we can put a name to some of these categories. Some will be easy, so we'll start off with this one here. Number one was the best driver. I think would have to go to, personally, RafaHulk. He's the champion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Rafa agrees as well.
I think Rafa agrees, yeah.
Silence.
Number two, I think, is also quite easy. It's not RafaHulk. Best qualifier, I think, has to go to Camden Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
8
Yeah.
pole positions.
Hard to
For
do.
sure.
Now, number three is most consistent driver.
Mm.
Or do we
Now,
need
I
to go
think-
somewhere else?
I think if you look at the Excel, actually, I
Look at the
think,
race results.
yeah, average race. Oh no, that's average race result. If you're gonna
I
go
mean-
off of that, would be RafaHulk at 1.9,
Jeez.
and which is strong.
I-
That's
like-
a strong number.
We mentioned earlier, Oreo was very consistent too. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finishes at 11th or 12th, and all the other finishes aren't too far off that one way or another. So that's pretty consistent too.
Yeah, I mean Camden's been consistent as well. You can argue.
F1 Nerd's pretty consistent. A lot of finishes between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
F1 Nerd. Yeah. F1 Nerd. He's a good racer too.
He definitely showed some really good pace in a few races this season. So curious to see how he builds upon that if he decides to come back next season.
Yeah, that one's difficult because when I think of most consistent, I think of, is that driver consistently getting, I guess, their most out of the car? Meaning, like for Oreo's case, for him, his maximum might be 9th or 10th, right? Is he consistently getting it every race? Most times. When you look at Camden, he's consistently looking and finishing races, but I think he, at some races, underperformed. So even though he was finishing races, he might not have gotten his true potential. But
It's really hard to not give
but-
this to Rafa also. Besides the one DNF, a podium
yeah,
in every race, and then the P4, like that's very consistent. And to do it at the highest level that you can to do it. So
I'd agree. I'd agree. RafaHulk most consistent. He's got the best average racer, 1.9.
yeah, and that's also not a surprise. To be a
Dude.
champion, you have to be consistent. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and the next closest number was Camden with 3.4, then Raiden at 3.6. So good stuff there from the Excel sheet. Number 4 is the most improved driver. So this will be a lot of the returning drivers. A lot of the new ones really didn't have much to improve upon, unless they really improved from the beginning to the end. But most improved driver. That's interesting.
I think first name that came to my mind was Broomhandle. He has a lot of top 5s this season, well, with a bunch of P6s also, which let's say a lot of top 6s, which is a great finish. And not that he was bad last season, but I don't think he was getting results as high as that last season. So that's the first one that came to mind for me.
I like you said about new driver is not like, but Shogun, something like that. He start on the third race, right?
No, his first
way
race was
later.
Spain, which he didn't have to right away. So
Super
Monza,
Oh,
you
okay.
could say halfway in.
Yeah, halfway in, and he from there he got like a couple podiums, but it's not improvement because he already had the pace, but he just got it halfway. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's a good pick. I was also thinking F1 nerd from the beginning of the season towards the end.
Yeah,
I really saw his speed increase. Maybe the results were consistently all over the, like
all over the
it
place.
was, yeah, a little
Unfortunately.
bit, but he had that race at what was it, Bahrain? He led like almost the entirety of it, right? It was Bahrain that he.
I think you are right.
yeah, he was good.
Right.
He
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
and then the
very.
safety car kind
Yeah,
of shifted it off, and he didn't get the podium, but he was leading a lot of that race. I can't say that he could have been in that position, let's say, the first half of the season. So I thought he did really good in that second half. I hope he comes back for next season. So we also have the fifth one here, the best overtaker.
Hmm.
Anybody come to mind? I think now if you're gonna say because the next one, so
Move on to the
I
next one.
think
Let me think
so.
about that one.
The next one is the cleanest driver. The fifth, this one is the best overtaker. When I'm gonna say best overtaker, I just mean just lick the stamp and send it, go for it. I think of Speedy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when you said that.
Now, when you want to talk about cleanest, I don't know about that one, but if you're
Definitely not
talking about
cleanest.
if he needs an overtake last lap, he needs an overtake. Speedy's your guy. I mean, he's gonna go for it.
And send everyone off
He
the
certainly
track.
sent it.
I think of so many moments he fought all season long. Maybe not I've always said, even on the streams, not the smartest idea, but if you want best overtaking, the most overtakes, he probably Speedy, and especially his race starts. He'll start in the grid and he'll make.
Oh my god, he's
he'll
a
make
rocket
Yeah.
Pick
ship.
up like
Positions.
10 places before the first corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on race starts, gets there past everyone, and yeah, definitely is going to send it on the overtake. And maybe all of them weren't the cleanest, but I think he also did show improvement in that towards the end of the season. So sure, let's give it Speedy.
And then the next one would be cleanest driver, which I think a lot of drivers could be a good candidate for this. I think even Rafa Camden are very clean. Any of those two can get it. Chibar, I think you're really clean as well.
Thank
It
you.
could really go
I would
anyways.
say Chibar. Even in Miami, I was his teammate was fight for the championship, and I think I passed him. I was behind him some point of the race, and he couldn't like fight and everything, and he didn't even move like the position. He's very clean, not just for Miami, but since I start on TCR, he's very clean in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
I appreciate that. It's very nice to hear. Funny thing is, so season 13 last season, race one Monza was my first ever league race, and I got off to a hot start. I had no idea how well I would compare. I was like, and I had a decent start. I was like, wow, am I good? Maybe. And I got overzealous going into the second chicane, and I think I crashed into you. And I think I may have taken you out because I remember apologizing in the chat to you. So I think I appreciate you calling me the cleanest racer, even though I think my career started by crashing into you.
But yeah, racing and
Mistake.
like
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't.
it's not about mistake, and you were like try fight for a position with another racing, and that's happened. We have to look at overall like the situation, not just that. I try to do that. So
Awesome. And the next one is number 7, Rookie of the Year. So this is actually an actual award that somebody will win. That'll be announced on Tuesday. Although the candidates are as followed. It's going to be F1 Nerd, Bags, Speedy Gunner, Diego, Double M, and Oreo. What do you think about Rookie of the Year?
I think this, just based on total points, F1 Nerd and Bags are ahead above that rookie class in competition, I think. So I think it might be down to one of them too. I don't know how you guys are deciding it. I think the committee should look through their season and try and decide who was rookie of the year.
Yeah, it is an official vote. I mean, the officials vote on the rookie of the year, but I think I would probably have to. Yeah, it would have to be between them two. I think F1 Nerd.
Oh, right, because I was going to say Raiden is a rookie, but since he finished in the top 3, he's not eligible, is he?
No, he's not eligible. Yeah.
Oh, how about this? So since this isn't the official vote, let's give Raiden the superlative of rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, let's go for that. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I forget he's a rookie. He's doing so well.
Bro won 3 races.
Yeah, it's crazy.
2 other podiums.
Number 8 is not a driver, but it's best race of the season.
Ooh.
I have one that stands out. I thought it was the craziest race of the year. I think it goes to Azerbaijan.
Yeah, dude. We finished with, 6 cars, I think.
Yeah, that was the craziest.
I think I'm gonna go in a different direction though. I like Brazil because all the strategy mayhem that happened because it might rain and then heavy rain. Yeah, to start off the season. Yeah, that was pretty.
I'm gonna go yet another direction. I think that Japan stands out. I think the final last 10 laps or so, Japan were just madness left and right. Like you guys couldn't keep up with the action. It was everywhere.
One Ferrari driver.
Yeah.
And I remember off the grid, it was I think Oreo and Double M, and I think Bags too. There was like 3 wide, and someone got wiped out and didn't even make it like 10 feet. So we had action right off the start of the race.
Finished that race on a puncture. Like you had everything.
Did you have one, Rafa?
Japan is a good one too. Yeah, a lot spins, like a lot crazy stuff. People outside the track, like 3-way, like overtake was crazy. Was like I think Chiba said madness. Was crazy. Was for that people race was the last one of their life.
Yeah. The grid had to calm down after that one.
Well, then we go to these last 4 superlatives, which are more on the negative basis, but they're kind of funny.
Boy.
So here we go. Number 9, unluckiest driver.
I'm gonna go with my guy Camden. Like Rafa, you deserve to win and everything, but like I'm on one thing alone. In Monza, Camden went to the pits. He has footage of his tire selection on the screen, and the game just decided to give him a different compound. So like, it doesn't get much more unlucky than that. I'm gonna.
He also got
I
taken
go-
out a few times too, when like
there's been
no
some
one should have
incidents.
been around him, and he just got taken.
Some
I
incidents
go,
happen.
yeah, I go with Camden as well. Yeah, he was unlocked this season, and so many opportunities. Yep.
I also think another candidate would be Blin Machine. I think he had some crazy stuff happen to him this
Definitely had
season
some stuff
between Ben and Blin and Blin, Ben and Ben. That will go down as one of the funniest TV segments that never happened.
It should be coming back next season too.
I hope so. Blin, Ben, and we're looking for a Benny, a Barry, whatever. Yeah, Benjamin, something. We need somebody to add
I'll
to
rebrand
the.
as Chiben.
Ben. Great.
Chiben.
Number 10, biggest complainer. Ooh,
Ooh.
was
I don't
there
know,
really
I
a
don't pay
biggest
I
complainer?
don't pay attention to the silver group chat that much.
Probably Segrist
Oh,
or Turkey. Sorry, guys.
oh, maybe. Yeah, it's been largely
I don't think
largely
hasn't-
civil all season. I'd
Yeah.
say. But yeah. So it's got to go to someone.
Yeah, I'd say Segrist, more for the banter, not necessarily.
Because he's actually complaining.
Yeah,
Definitely
but
for the banter.
I will keep quiet on this one.
don't hurt your reputation, Rafa. You're the champ. Well, then you're not gonna like this next one. I can't believe I put this one on here. Number 11, worst driver. Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh,
Well, I gotta say it, because I mean, we're gonna go off for worst driver. Ooh, that's rough. Freeze. Why'd I put that one on there? I don't know. Do I get a veto? Skip.
Nope, you made it. Shut up. Do it.
Hmm.
I gotta think about that one.
Well, then I'll have to go statistically. It has to be Double M. He had the least amount of points.
He did. He does have a fastest lap though.
Yeah, and that was his final race start this season, fastest lap. So maybe he wasn't proving.
Yeah, but what happened? He has shop showing up. Double M.
M&Ms.
Double M.
Yeah, I would probably have to go that route too, because like DNF, 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 DNF to start the season, and then comes back with a 12th, and then 8th, and then DNF, DSQ, DMP, 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 with that fast lap in between there. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, and the last one on the list is accident-prone drivers. Somebody who gets into a lot of wheel banging.
Well, if you send it, you might get some wheel banging. I'm gonna have to give that to Speedy. But like
Oh
I said,
yeah.
Honestly,
I think he has been
drivers.
working on it. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna give it to first half Speedy. I think he's been working on it since.
Yeah, first half was like
I don't know who you
a little much.
I don't know how you would give it to who you would give it to as a whole season though. Honestly.
I mean,
well, you said it. We could the Ben Blinn duo. They could
them two. But then you also had Raiden and Seagrass. Remember they got right in Mexico.
On a straight.
So they had a little bit.
I didn't know this was a tandem trophy. It's kind of like constructors, like two people win it because it takes two to tango.
All right, well then it'd be Speedy in the field, Ben Blinn, Raiden, and Seagrass. You vote down below.
How about me in the pits? That's
me in the pits. Yeah, because with your 6 pit stops in Brazil.
I think it may have been 7. Yeah, I don't know.
It may have been 7.
That was a fun trophy to be virtually throwing around this season because it started with you. I think when Seagrass joined, he spent 5 pit stops at Australia. And then I think it went to somebody else, and it just kept rotating who had the most pit stops.
The pit lane master.
Yeah, maybe that's a stat we start recording next season.
Be fine with me. All right, well, I don't know. If there's anything else to finish up on Silver Class? I don't know. It's been... I want to just... If for all those Silver drivers... hopefully listening and watching. It was a fun season to commentate on with me and D'Angelo, and a lot of good battles, a good championship fight that went to finale. A lot of drivers I hope to see next season to return and improve upon. A lot of good mixture of battles. We had, I think, 6 different winners, a lot of different podiums spread throughout. A lot of drivers first time doing league racing in Silver. So I think altogether it was a great season, and I always look forward to it every Tuesday, and we'll see how it goes in next season.
Yeah, I would like to thank Rafa for coming on. I think congratulate him again on the season. It was a great showing, great pace, and throughout the whole season he's been really gracious and respectful in the chats and in submissions. Just a really good role model for Silver Class. So I'll be rooting for you next year in Golden.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me here. And I'm look forward to go to the Golden Class and try improve. Not going to be easy, but going to be another season with TCR. And I hope we have we put up some good show to everybody watch.
Well said. Well, I think that'll do it here for this episode. So thank you all for tuning in, and make sure to follow TCR on all socials and join the TCR Discord server where we are the most active. And until next week, thank you for listening.